Este es su programa Café con Leche, la voz de los latinos en América. Estamos transmitiendo desde hermosa 1470M, 96.9 FM. Les habla Lilia Galindo y me acompaña Thomas Elias. Good morning. Can you hear me, Tom?
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm fine.
I'm
Very happy today.
very good. I'm glad
I'm
to
happy
hear.
to be with you.
Thank you. What do we have for
Good.
today?
So let's talk today a little bit about the gasoline gouging companies.
Mhm.
You remember just about a year ago, we were paying anywhere between $6 and $8 a gallon for gasoline in California. And the excuse for doing this was that that President Biden had put an embargo on imports of oil from Russia. Now, imports of oil from Russia accounted for 3% of California's gasoline
Huh.
Before then. And to raise the price, as they did by almost 80%, and use that as the excuse, was as transparent and false an excuse as you can imagine. I'll stop there for a minute.
Ok, nos está hablando de el incremento excesivo en los precios de la gasolina que se ha dado desde hace un año. El precio de la gasolina estaba entre 6 y 8 dólares. Y dice, como excusa se usó que el presidente Biden había hecho un embargo en contra de Rusia por la invasión en Ucrania. Y dice, las importaciones del petróleo de Rusia significan solamente un 3% para el estado de California. Así es que ese incremento de casi 80% fue excesivo. Okay.
Okay. So what happened was that immediately when Russia invaded the Ukraine, the gasoline prices in California went sky high. And yet the fight in the Ukraine had nothing to do with oil supplies to California or the operations of the gasoline refineries in California. But nobody did anything about it. And the oil companies said they were raising the price for all the old reasons that we've heard before. That we have a summer blend of gasoline in California that costs a little more to make than a winter blend, that we have higher gas taxes in California, and that we have old refineries. Well, all those things existed before Russia invaded Ukraine, but they still didn't raise the price of gasoline to the extent that they did immediately after the Russian invasion began. So what happened is the oil companies got started on a winning streak, and it was a pretty long winning streak. It lasted more than a year. And I'll stop there, Frida, and then we'll go on.
Ok, dice, este incremento de los precios se vio como resultado de la invasión de Rusia en Ucrania. Y dice, los precios se incrementaron hasta el cielo y no había pasado nada diferente. Dice, ellos, los que producen las gasolinas, dijeron que las refinerías en California tenían el problema de que, por ejemplo, la mezcla que se hacía para el verano era diferente a la mezcla que se hacía para el invierno, que California pagaba muy altos impuestos y que las refinerías estaban obsoletas. Sin embargo, no había habido nada que hubiese cambiado del pasado ni nada que justificara ese incremento tan excesivo de precios.
Yeah, so all those reasons that the gas companies, the oil companies give you for high prices in California, they were already there and they were already factored into California oil prices before the Russian invasion. But the oil companies had the opportunity to raise their prices, and they did, and nobody stopped them. Nobody rolled those prices back. And so it went on for months and months at the very high prices before the government began to react against it. Governor Newsom began to react against it. And once he did, then the prices started to drop. which once again shows you how fake the prices were when they were at their highest. They were just totally exploitative. And so that led to the second victory for the oil companies. And that was when the executives and directors of the oil companies started to cash in their stock. You know, the Slim family of Mexico, Carlos Slim and his family, they own many things in the United States. And one of the things they own a big chunk of is the PBF gasoline refinery in Torrance, California. It's one of the 5 big refineries in California. Well, after the price hikes raised the stock prices of all the big refinery companies in California, the Slim family unloaded $325 million worth of their stock. They just took $325 million out. But they weren't the only ones. The CEO of Chevron unloaded $10 million worth of stock at inflated prices. The executive vice president of Chevron offloaded $60 million in Chevron stock trades. The same thing happened with executives at PBF and at Marathon and at Valero and Phillips 66. Those are all the big refineries. Together, they make 97% of California gasoline. And they and all these executives were cashing in on the high stock prices that were the result of their gas gouging. So that was their victory number 2.
Okay, let me then translate that. Dice, entonces ninguno de estas cosas tuvo ninguna incidencia en los precios de la gasolina aquí en California. Y dice, y lo que pasó es que nadie hizo absolutamente nada. Ellos seguían incrementando los precios hasta que el gobierno ya reaccionó y los precios empezaron a bajar. Dice, el gobernador de California dijo, excuse me, ya párenle, y entonces empezó a bajar el precio de la gasolina. Y dice, y lo que vemos es que muchas de las familias o muchas de las de los que dirigen estas compañías de refinerías de aquí en California, pues tomaron mucha ventaja. Por ejemplo, dice la familia de México, la familia Slim cambió 320 millones de dólares, 325 millones de dólares, vendiendo sus acciones al precio más alto. La familia Slim, Carlos Slim, es uno de los dueños de una refinería, la PBS, en California, y él sacó 325 dólares. El CEO, el Chief Executive Officer de Chevron, obtuvo 10 millones de dólares. El que era anteriormente CEO de la misma compañía obtuvo 60 millones de dólares. Y así es que, dice, muchos de los otros dueños de las empresas o funcionarios de las otras empresas cambiaron sus acciones en el mercado de valores y obtuvieron muchísimos dineros producto de este incremento abusivo de los precios. Okay,
so the third victory in this win streak for the refiners came the middle of March when the legislature gave up on a new windfall profits tax on excess profits by the refiners. But still, Governor Newsom persisted, and this to me is one of the best things he's done as governor. He changed his plan a little bit. It wasn't going to be a windfall profits tax. He worked out an agreement with the legislature to set up a new bureau in the State Energy Commission that would gather new forms of information from the oil companies. They would have to submit it under this new law. That Newsom actually signed the law yesterday. And they're going to have to give them this information. And then the Energy Commission will determine when the prices are excessive and when they need to file a penalty against them. So Newsom actually won. And California now has more regulation of gasoline prices than any other state in the union. And those new rules will take effect in 3 months. So that's a very important outcome from this whole thing. And the bottom line is the refiners' win streak is over, and God only knows if they will ever get another one going like that.
Bueno, entonces dice, aquí en California, bueno, pues estaba el gobernador tratando de pasar una ley que les pusiera impuestos a los que estaban tomando ganancias excesivas del consumo de la gasolina. Y dice, bueno, pues les sabotearon eso, pero no se dio por vencido y pasó una ley donde se establece una nueva comisión del Estado para vigilar que las compañías petroleras no abusen. Se va a llevar a la Comisión de Energía para determinar cuando hay precios excesivos, cuando están abusando, y estas nuevas reglas pues obviamente nos va a proteger porque ellos van a ser analíticos de la información de que las compañías petroleras presentan para determinar los precios, y si el precio es excesivo, entonces se les van a poner multas para que ya no abusen. That is really great. Él dice que reconoce al gobernador Newsom por esto. Tom, the time is gone. It always flies. But thank you so much.
Yes, it went very fast today, Lily. I will see you in 2 weeks.
Thank you. Have a nice day.